Hey guys, welcome back to Paracord Planet. We've been enjoying making some Halloween projects lately, so we're going to continue in that theme today. This idea comes to us from Philip Turr on Instagram. He made this Paracord doll. So we're going to be turning them into Paracord mummy dummies. Let's dive right in. For this project, you're really only going to need about 12 feet of paracord. I have 25 here, but we'll be cutting that into smaller chunks. And I'll keep exact track of the measurements, so at the end you'll see how much extra I have left with the amounts I used. And then you'll just need a 3/4 inch ball bearing. We have those in our store. You can do bigger or smaller, a marble or other things work for that as well. So if you have a 3/4 inch ball bearing, you'll need to make a 4-pass monkey fist for the head. So we'll start with that. Before we start on the monkey fist though, let's cut our cord down to size. So we're going to need 2 lengths of 5 feet each, or approximately 5 feet. So we'll cut that out here. 3 and 2 more. And then you'll need 2 pieces of 2 feet each. So I guess my bad math, that's 14 feet, not 12. Again, I'm trying to keep these measurements exact so that you can skip ahead to the end and see how much cord I'm cutting off. So if you want to be more conservative with your cord use, you can probably use a little bit less than what I'm using. You can lay your 2-foot sections aside, along with one of your 5-foot sections, and we'll start by making a monkey fist. You want to leave about 1 foot in the end of your cord, and then we're going to be making the monkey fist here. If you don't know how to make a monkey fist, we'll put a link in the description to where you can make one on a jig or without a jig. But in this video, we're going to cruise through it pretty fast. So we'll wrap it 4 times around our fingers, ending at the same place we started, and then make 4 lateral wraps. Once you're about halfway through those, you want to stick your ball bearing inside, or whatever you're using as your core. Finish those up. We got our 4 stripes now. And then you can take it off of your fingers, being careful to hold onto that ball bearing and keep it in the middle. And then we're going to be going through this way. So down through, and bring out your slack, then coming up through this side here. So there's 1 wrap. We'll just complete our 4, moving across this way. Once you get those final 4 wraps done, going that last direction, we begin tightening it down. And the key to this is patience. If you do it too fast, you'll get a lopsided monkey fist. But again, in those videos that we linked in the description, we'll have some extra tips on making a good monkey fist. For a last round of tightening, it really helps to have a paracord fid or knotter's tool or marlin spike or something like that that you can use to pull out the cord to keep on pulling all that extra out. So once you get it down to how tight you want it, we'll move on to making the body. At this point, you can bring back in all of your cords. We'll start with the other 5-footer. And we'll position that behind his neck. So fold that in half again. And put your monkey fist right down through that. Philip recommended that you choose one cord to be tight and the other to be loose instead of trying to average them out, because then you have a pretty floppy head. And I found that to really work on the voodoo doll one. So we have this one little stray stripe there, but it hides itself pretty well. And that neck is pretty nice and stiff. So we'll go with that on this one too. So I'm going to go with this one being tight and the other one just being loose like that. That's going to become the center of our cobra braid that we're going to use for his body. So we'll make a couple knots first before we bother having the neck nice and tight, because we can adjust that as we go. But you guys all probably know this weave. One side over, the other one over that, around the back, and up through the loop. And tighten that down. Before we add our next knot, we want to bring in those 2 shorter cords to be the arms. So grab those, Got a lot of strings going on here. Put those behind the body at the midpoint. So we're going to do the cobra weave just like normal, except we're first going to put both of those cords behind the back of those arms. So now you've got the arms going over the weave cords and underneath the center strands. So we'll just continue as normal now, putting that left side cord over the top first and doing the mirror image of that first knot. Tighten that down, and that should lock his arms in place. Gotta make sure you have the center of the arms, so all of our cords are about the same length. We'll adjust those. That way we get the most out of those cords for weaving later. At this point we do want to tighten that neck, so pull that one cord tight and the other one as tight as you comfortably can, while keeping the other one straight. So put the arms out of the way so those don't get caught in our weave, and we'll keep going. This time it's right side over the top and left around the back. You can make the body as long as you want. If you decide to make it longer than we're making it, you may run out of cord or want to use more cord in the beginning. So we're going to do 4 more complete square knots, and you can just count the bumps on each side to keep track of your knots. Now that that's completed, we have one more knot to learn, and that's the snake knot. It's a pretty common paracording knot, so it's a good one to learn if you don't know it already. So we'll start by making one of his legs. So we'll take one core strand and one weaving strand, and those two are going to be woven together to make his leg. The right side cord, you can begin by crossing it over the left one, and then looping it around behind, so that you've got this loop in your right cord and your left one stays straight. But then you're going to take that left cord and bring it behind the right one and down through this loop right here. So before you tighten it down, it looks like that. You just want to cinch it right underneath his body. Pull each one of those cords to make sure that's as tight as possible. So once you have that knot down, the rest is pretty easy. You just keep on repeating that to make his arms and legs. His arms and legs can be as long as you want them to be, but just know that if you do it longer than ours, you may run out of cord. So now at the end of this project, we can go over how much cord we didn't use. There's about 4 inches on each end of the arms. So that was those 2-foot sections that I had you cut. So if you make each of those 6 inches shorter, you should be just fine. And on the legs, we almost ran out with the cord that we made the monkey fist with. And so if you make a little bit smaller head, like Philip did, he did a 3-pass, then you should have plenty there. And on the ends here, we had about 10 inches extra. So that was the cord we added at the neck. So cut yours accordingly. So to add it all up, we used just under 12 feet of paracord. So that's 5 for the head and spine, 3.5 for the one we added at the neck, and 1.5 for each of the arm sections. We'll clip off the ends and finish this up. So that concludes our Mummy Dummy project. Thanks for watching, guys. If you enjoyed this one, leave us a like, or better yet, subscribe. If you have any other Halloween project ideas, be sure to let us know in the comments. We'll put a link in the description to where you can find supplies for this, as well as those videos we mentioned. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you next time.